What's going on, guys, in the works, and welcome to a close quarters DLC weapon breakdown, initial thoughts, or whatever you want to call it. But today we're looking at the MTAR-21, which is one of the weapons that I was really anticipating, and I was excited that DICE decided to bring it to us because I'm a huge fan of this weapon line, and it's pretty much what I expected out of the weapon. It does shoot really fast at 900 rounds per minute, and you know, it does have a lot of recoil, which you'll see here. It does have a recoil that's up and to the right, and the iron sight on this thing is pretty ugly, so you're going to want to put your optical attachment on there, whatever one you prefer, right away, because it's going to greatly increase your performance with this thing. But you can see it's up and to the right, so the recoil on it's pretty predictable. It's not too hard to understand where it's going to go and where it's going to fall back down. Now at longer ranges it is going to be a little bit more tricky because the spread on this thing is pretty, you know, fanned out. It doesn't have the tightest aim fire that I've seen out of the engineer class, but for, you know, a carbine in this, you know, on the engineer class, it is pretty typical of it to have pretty poor aim fire because it does have a lower aim fire bonus, whereas assault rifles are a lot more compact. But overall, it's a pretty solid choice. It's definitely a close quarters master, and it's what I kind of expected the ACR to feel like. Now, the ACR, I wasn't a huge fan of it just because it feels like it does low damage. It feels like it's a lot harder to kill people. But with this bad boy, you get 50 rounds per minute more, which I find, you know, really helps you out in a firefight. Now, obviously, the slow reload times on this thing is going to get you in trouble at times, but you're not really going to find yourself engaging more than maybe one or two people. If you find yourself with that third person, you're most likely going to get killed. So keep that in mind when using this. It does have a very slow reload. But overall, I'm really enjoying using it. It is definitely what I wanted from DICE in terms of a gun that kind of fills that void that the engineer class felt like it had, because you know you have the assault class, which has the AEK and the F2000, both which shoot, you know, F2000 850 rounds per minute, the AEK 900 rounds per minute. Then you've also got the FAMAS, which really shoots fast as well. I think that is what, 1,000 rounds per minute. So you had a lot of things in the assault class that allowed you to play really aggressive if you wanted to, but I always felt like the engineer didn't really have many choices. You know, they had the M4, which is pretty much the same as the M16 with a sooner drop off, but you know, the handling on it were pretty much similar, so I wanted something that kind of filled that void, and I think DICE did a really good job with the MTAR and the ACR of filling that void that existed in the engineer class. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm really excited that DICE actually you know, used their noggins on this one, and they picked two weapons that work well together, because it was two things that the engineer class lacked, and now they have something to fill that void. So that's pretty awesome. But being a bullpup weapon means that yes, it's going to have a slow reload, but it's going to have really awesome hip fire, and it's going to handle very well. And that's one of the things I love most about it, is the handling on it. So you can strafe around, you know, you can fire from the hip, you can be really aggressive with the MTAR, and you're not really going to get punished as much for moving while aiming from, or you know, firing from the hip. So overall, probably going to be one of my most used engineer weapons. I'm really enjoying using it, but like I said, it does take some time to kind of grind for, because you do have to get 1 EOD bot kill and 100 carbine kills. So kind of a grind, but once you unlock it, it's definitely worth it. But be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more close quarters DLC stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.